What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Florida, the beautiful Sunshine State. We have finally moved and relocated, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. So coming up next, I'm going to give you guys the pros and cons of why we moved. You guys aren't going to want to miss this one. You gotta stay tuned. Easiest way.
Here we go. We're headed to our flight to Florida. Goodbye, Arizona. See ya. See what your cool luggage. Let's go. Let's go.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard American Airlines Flight 1470, non-stop service over to Tampa.
Break?
Yeah, those are
You guys, we made it. Say what's up, everybody. Family picture. What's going on? All right, we made it to Tampa, and look at it, it's pouring. On the first day we get in, we got All right, you guys, welcome to Ben Travels TV. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been a while. You guys have been watching our journey from Arizona all the way to Florida. We have finally made it to Tampa International Airport, all the way from Phoenix Gateway Sky Harbor Airport. All right, it was a long flight, about 4.5 hours. My baby made it through. He started getting a little restless towards the end, but the kids did good. Me and the wife did good. And we're glad that we have finally touched down in our new state, our new home, the Sunshine State of Florida. And we have moved to the Tampa Bay area. You guys stay tuned. Buckle up. This is a long video. All right, because I want to get into the pros. I want to get into the cons. I want to let you guys know exactly why we decided to leave Arizona, sell everything. We sold our house. We let almost everything go, sold our car. I just picked up the rental car. We're going to purchase a new car while we're here in Florida. Got rid of everything. And as you guys can see, the beautiful Tampa Bay in the distance in the Gulf of Mexico. We are starting over and starting fresh, and we're so excited. As I'm recording this video, we have already been here for 2 months. As you guys saw when we sold our house, those are the movers. The movers arrived. We met them here on the day that they were going to bring our stuff, right? We were staying in our Airbnb out in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we are just barely unloading that truck. I'm telling you, it took from about 8 in the morning to almost 5 p.m., 5 to 6 p.m. at night for them to unload everything and get everything reassembled. But anyways, guys, enjoy this video. It's going to be a long one. We're going to give the pros and the cons, and here we go. Let's get into it. All right, you guys, welcome to Ben Travels TV. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. All right, so as you guys can see, we have relocated to the Tampa Bay area of Florida. All right, we have left Arizona. We sold everything and moved to the Tampa, Florida area. And I'll tell you why. Okay, we wanted it kind of like a change of lifestyle, right? And we love the central west coast of Florida. You're talking the Gulf Coast. You're talking Clearwater Beach. And let's just pull up a map of the Bay Area of Tampa, Florida. All right, and as you guys see this map, you have Clearwater to the northwest, you have St. Petersburg to the south, you have Tampa Bay, Hillsborough Bay, right? You got Tampa kind of centrally located north of the bay. To the east, you have Brandon, you have Ruskin, you have Riverview. Further out east, you have Lakeland. If you go down south to the Manatee River, you have Anna Maria Island, Bradenton, Sarasota. You're pretty much surrounded by beautiful beaches in the Bay Area. Okay, you have the city life, you have rural life, and you have beach life all combined into one. And this is why we chose Tampa. As you can see, it's very green, it's very plush. This is exactly what we wanted when we relocated from Arizona. We went from a desert landscape to plush green landscape, green grass, beautiful trees, beautiful palm trees. All right, lots of water, lots of lakes, lots of ponds, swimming pools everywhere, right? This is something that Arizona did not offer in terms of that. And let's jump right into that and I'll explain that. Arizona, you would think, being a place that's in the desert, and I'm thinking more because of the water crisis, would have more access to water parks. They really don't. Okay, look at this map. Okay, and look at by state. Which state has the most amusement parks, water parks? And you would think in the middle of the desert, this is something that they can accommodate for people who are dealing with super record high heat. Okay, that's just one of the many things. And this is one of the advantages and one of the pros, right? Being only an hour and 20 minutes away drive, living in Tampa, going to Orlando, Florida, one of the #1 tourist destinations in the world, which hosts Walt Disney World Resort, which you guys can see here on the map. This is what we wanted to move here for our kids, because definitely they have the opportunity to create memories on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, or year-by-year basis. We want to create those memories for our family and give our kids the opportunity to definitely go out and have fun. You have Universal Orlando Resort, Volcano Bay, Island of Adventure, Universal Studios, SeaWorld Orlando, right? This is the kind of stuff that your kids need to experience growing up. And that's just my opinion, right? And this is just something for us that I love, because this is something I did when I was a kid. I was able to have those opportunities. And this is why we love living in Tampa, because it's very close to us in Orlando. And there's much more. There's so much stuff that I have not even mentioned as of yet, which Tampa also has, with Busch Gardens and all types of other amusement parks and recreational opportunities. Like you see here, the Crystal Blue Springs, right? You have nature, you have the wildlife, right? You don't have to just go to amusement parks. You can enjoy the beaches on the west coast of Florida, the beaches on the east coast of Florida, right? Let's pull up another map. All right. So you have the Gulf of Mexico to the west, you have the Atlantic Ocean to the east, and the Caribbean to the south: Miami, Orlando, Jacksonville, Tampa, and St. Pete. All right. You have Naples, Florida. You have Fort Myers, which is recovering from the hurricane. You have beautiful beaches, beautiful sunsets. And this is what we love about Florida, is that they really take care of their coastline. They really invest in it for their tourism, for their locals, for the state, for their revenue. And this is something I have never seen before, right? California's coastline does not compare to Florida's coast at all. All right, Miami, need I say more? South Beach, Key Biscayne, the Florida Keys. There's so much to do in South Florida, all the way up to West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, the boating, the fishing. So much fun, all the way up to North Florida and Jacksonville. You have so much that you can do in this state, and I can't wait to explore, right? The wildlife, like I said, you can catch the flamingos out on the West Coast down in St. Pete. You can go dolphin watching. You can just go to the beach and you'll see dolphins pop up, like you guys seen on my video when I went on the pirate ship cruise. All right. And don't forget about those pesky sharks, bull sharks, hammerhead sharks, great white sharks. You got to be careful during shark season. And of course, those black bears are spotted in the Tampa Bay area. They're also spotted in Orlando and Central Florida as well. And watch out for those gators when you get close to those retention ponds and those lakes. There definitely is a chance that they're in there. Don't forget about the pythons as well. They're spreading from the Everglades and heading up north. Education. Florida ranks #1 in the USA in education across the board. They rank number 14 in pre-K through 12 private and charter and public, and #1 in higher education. All right. This, and also they have some of the best homeschool programs as well for homeschooling. Arizona, the state we came from, almost dead last, number 48 pre-K through 12, and 33 in higher education. You have higher education, #1 public university in the entire United States is the University of Florida. Go Gators. You also have HBCU, one of the top HBCUs, FAMU, right? Florida A&M University, right? You have tons of opportunity, tons of diversity in this state, and that's what we love. You have UCF, University of Central Florida, which is located in Orlando, another top university in not only in Florida, but the United States. You also have the University of Miami in Coral Gables. I did a tour on this campus. You guys can check the video in the description. They have awesome athletics. Coral Gables is down in Miami. You have Florida Atlantic University, which is also in Boca Raton, which is north of Fort Lauderdale, another great university. You have the University of South Florida, which is located in Tampa. Go Bulls. I don't live that far from the campus, which is another great university. You have the University of Tampa, which is located in downtown Tampa, right across from the Riverwalk. Talk about awesome views. I'm going to shoot a restaurant, which is really close there. And you guys can check out my Riverwalk video to see this amazing building. You have the Florida State University, right? Home of the Florida State Seminoles in Tallahassee, the capital, Tallahassee, Florida. You can't forget about Florida International University down in Miami. Go FIU, right? This is what I'm talking about. Tons of diversity, tons of educational opportunities. You have Jacksonville University in Jacksonville, Florida. You also have University of North Florida, which is also located in Jacksonville, Florida. You can't talk about Tampa or Florida without talking about Berkeley Preparatory School in Tampa, one of the top high schools in the entire United States for private and college prep. You also have the IMG Academy in Bradenton in Sarasota, which is a boarding school for the top athletes in the entire United States. This is the #1 school when it comes to athletics in the entire United States. All right, let's talk about Florida being one of the states, one of the 9 states that has no state income tax. Look at California, my home state, almost 12 to 13% getting taken out of your check. That is a robbery, right? Texas, Nevada, another state I used to live in, no state income tax. Look at Arizona, very low state income taxes taken out. And they have other ways of making money, right? You have to always look at the pros and the cons when it comes to no state income tax, all right? Florida imposes a corporate income tax. That's for corporations, right? I'm not a corporation, so that's something I don't have to worry about, all right? And you also have high sales tax in Arizona, and you look at all these other states. When you go to Costco and when I go to Sam's Club, or you go to the grocery store and you see that bill, once you ring your card or pay your cash at the register, you'll see it. It's a huge difference. I've seen it already from going to Costco and Sam's Club. The stuff I used to pay $500 for, I'm paying like $350, $380 for by saving on sales tax. Gas is a lot cheaper as well. It's like $3 a gallon here. When I left Arizona, it was like $5.33. Utilities, a little more expensive just by a few dollars. I see it. It's very comparable, not that much different, but top 10 most expensive are in Florida and Arizona. All right, high property taxes. I noticed that Arizona has a lower property tax rate. Florida has high and low, but it just depends on the county you're in. It's very county based. It could be from 1.25% up to 3 to 3.5%. It just depends on your county. You definitely want to check with your local tax officials. All right. Crime. This is kind of old 2020. You want to look at the violent crime rate. You could see Florida is a massive state, but compared to Arizona and New Mexico, the crime is insane, and the crime has been on the rise in the desert for the past few years now. One of the sunniest states, I've lived in the top 3, Las Vegas and Phoenix, right? And they are the hottest states I have ever been in. Now I'm in Florida 23, and that comes with a lot more rain. You get about 246 days of sunshine per year in Tampa, Florida. All right, you guys, let's jump in to some of the cons of why I moved from Tampa from Arizona.
Arizona is very hot. I'm talking over 105 plus degrees, weeks at a time, sometimes months at a time. You're well into the low to mid hundreds, right? The low 105s to the 110s, up into the 115s throughout the summer. I'm talking sometimes starting in March, April, May, June, July, August, September, sometimes in October, all the way up into November. Arizona is not, Phoenix Metro, I must say, is not a walkable place, right? Coming from California, being a Southern California kid, there's sidewalks everywhere. You can ride your bike almost everywhere. You can walk in the city almost everywhere. If you look, you'll see new construction communities in Arizona, and you'll see throughout, they don't have big sidewalks where you can ride your bike. They don't have nice paved streets where you can ride your bikes and walk. And I think this is a deterrent. With it being so hot in Arizona, people don't come outside, right? It almost looks like a ghost town during the summer because it's just too hot to do any type of outdoor activity. Let me explain to you. I know people are saying, but you're moving to Florida where it's hot. A dry heat like Arizona's, I'm telling you, compares to nothing. People complain about the humidity in the South. It has nothing on that burning oven dry heat of Arizona. It does not compare. I know some people just don't like the feeling of being sweaty and muggy, but you can still go outside. You can still walk around. You can still survive it. I can't tell you how many people have died in Arizona on walking trails, hiking trails, because they only had one bottle of water and they just couldn't make it back down the mountain or back from that trail. We went on vacation here, and you guys can see the videos that I posted previously. Last year, I think it was, we started off in Central Florida at Walt Disney World. We ended up in Clearwater Beach, Tampa, went down to Sarasota, made our way down to Fort Lauderdale, Miami, all the way to the Florida Keys. And we fell in love with the state of Florida. On our flight back to Phoenix, and when we arrived, we saw nothing but dirt, brown, yellow. It was almost a depressing feeling, to say the least, coming back to Phoenix. Was that the beautiful palm trees, this breeze that I'm feeling right now in November, early November. That dirt, seeing the dirt, not seeing landscaping, not seeing natural grass, not seeing the trees, not seeing the water, was depressing. I immediately had a feeling like, man, I wish we were back in Florida. Me and my wife looked at each other and were like, man, what a difference. You kind of get desensitized being in the desert for so long, right? I spent a better part of 11, 12 years in Nevada and Arizona, being from Southern California. You kind of forget what it's like to be around such plush green landscape. And Florida is much more green than California. It was like almost like I put HD lens on my eyes and like some type of color code. And it just hit me when I was here, just seeing the beautiful bright blue water, seeing the nice, beautiful green grass and all the trees and the wildlife, right? I've ran into all types of wildlife here, and it just hits your soul. It hits different. It like brings something out of you, your environment, right? That's why they say sometimes you're a product of your environment. This can push you to another level, waking up to something like this every day. It's motivation, right? It gives you that extra energy boost. That's why some people who are from Seattle, they're so used to seeing cloudy skies, and they have like high suicide rates and depression because it's always so cloudy and rainy. This is the Sunshine State. I've been here now 2 months since you guys have seen my videos, and we love it. I'm going to share so many videos with you guys throughout our next chapter in our life.
Location, and this is a definite pro and something that we can take advantage of by being Floridians, by having the Caribbean at our fingertips just to the south of us. Florida might as well be connected to the Caribbean because Key West is just, 90 miles away from Cuba, which is to the south, the Bahamas to the east. You have Jamaica, you have the Cayman Islands, you have Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and many more, Aruba, Curacao, and you also have Central America, Panama, Costa Rica, Belize. You also have Mexico there in the Mexican Gulf with the Yucatan Peninsula and Cancun. You have Texas, which is nearby, Louisiana and New Orleans, which I've done videos on and have family there. All right, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. There's so much. And just south to over the Caribbean, you have Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Brazil, Bolivia, Argentina, and of course, we have at our fingertips the port of Miami to go on cruises to all of these destinations. Tampa has a port, so does Cape Canaveral as well. And also, we're on the eastern seaboard. We can take advantage of going to all these beautiful states, all the states in the Midwest. We're very close, and we can create those opportunities. This is one of the many pros of us moving to Florida and relocating, right? And doing more and having adventures and creating those memories as a family over the next 10 plus years. All right, you guys. And we're not done yet. Okay. We're also closer to Africa, Europe, right? France, Spain, the UK, all the other continents for us to travel even more, which makes it light on our pockets coming from the West Coast. And we can't forget about the culture here in Florida alone, right? I'm going to gain so much weight doing these food vlogs for you guys, right? You have Haitian, you have Indian, you have Bangladesh, Pakistan, Indonesian, Korean, Haitian, right? You have Puerto Rican, you have Dominican, you have Cuban, right? You have Venezuelan, you have Colombian. There are food trucks, restaurants, music, festivals everywhere. This place is so diverse. I don't think I've ever lived in a place that is this diverse. You see people from everywhere. You hear Portuguese, you hear Spanish, you hear Haitian Creole, you hear Jamaican. You have people here, big Bohemian culture as well. You have lots of people from all over the West Indies. My neighbors are from Trinidad. I have neighbors from Venezuela. I met a guy from the car dealership from Venezuela as well, right? You guys see my video for Lechonera. There's food everywhere. And let's get into the sports. Entertainment. You have the NHL's Tampa Bay Lightning, Stanley Cup champs. You have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? In Tampa, you have the Tampa Rays out in St. Petersburg, and I attended a game. They're building a massive stadium that will be done in the next 5 years as well. You have the Orlando Magic in Orlando, Florida as well. If you want to watch an NBA basketball game, okay, at the Amway Center, they have concerts, events, and they're going to revamp that area as well. You also have Major League Soccer in Orlando if you want to watch a soccer game. You also have up north in Jacksonville, Florida, the NFL's Jacksonville Jaguars, who are also building a new massive stadium that'll be done in the next 4 years. You have the Florida Panthers up there north of Fort Lauderdale and Parkland of the NHL's National Hockey League. All right. You also have David Beckham and Lionel Messi at Inter Miami, which is out in Fort Lauderdale, I believe. And this is their stadium now. But also, I think in the next year or two, this stadium, Freedom Park, will be done. Another massive stadium in Miami, and Jeff Bezos just moved here. You have the Miami Marlins down in Miami, Florida, the baseball team. All right. A team I used to watch as well as a kid and love, Gary Sheffield. Miami Marlins. You have Major League Baseball in the World Baseball Classic. You have Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill and the Miami Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, NFL football team. You have the NBA's Miami Heat down in Brickell, Miami, a beautiful stadium, right? So if you want to watch more NBA basketball, you can go down to Miami and catch a Heat game. See so much entertainment, concerts, events, festivals are at these arenas as well. College sports already ran through the colleges. I did a video here at the University of Miami. You also have spring training, just like Arizona. I've done videos in spring training there. I've done videos in Florida as well, spring training. You have half of Major League Baseball's teams here on the west coast of Florida in spring training in February, March, and April. So you guys can go check out your favorite team and during those times if you miss them and you live in this state. All right. So you guys can check out my video I did for the New York Yankees, which are in Tampa. All right. And I have failed to mention many other things like attractions, state parks, aquariums, museums, monuments. There's so much to do in this state. And this is why this was a heavy pro for us moving to the Sunshine State. You have deep sea fishing, right? Go out and catch swordfish and all types of wild fish. You also have sandbars everywhere and boating opportunities. You also have snorkeling everywhere, checking out the marine life. You also have scuba diving, which they have excursions in schools for that. You also have the Everglades if you want to catch these animals out in their natural habitat. I did a video on that as well. Absolutely beautiful and a pro of why we move. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. You can't mention Florida without mentioning this one con, and that is hurricanes and natural disasters, right? With the pros, there are cons, and this is a con, and this is kind of what deterred me from moving to Florida for decades now. All right. I actually wanted to move here in 2003, but did not because of the hurricanes, right? It has always been a deterrent for me. Hurricanes, you get warnings well in advance to prepare, to evacuate or prepare. All right. I am not living on the coast. I chose to mitigate my risk and live further inland, not in a heavy flood zone, right? The entire state is in a flood zone, right? It can flood at any time, but I'm in an area that is a little above the sea level, which Florida is mostly on sea level, right? There's topography in the area that I live. Okay. So if you're on the coast, you are putting yourself at risk for damage high flood insurance, and definitely you're going to have to evacuate at some point in time if a major storm is coming. You have water sprouts that turn into tornadoes. Out here, you have heavy thunderstorms and torrential downpours, right? You also have that in Arizona. We have monsoon season, which is very similar, but not as catastrophic. Okay, so you have to get used to the rain season, which happens in the summer. Heavy lightning strikes, as well as Tampa. They have a team, the Tampa Bay Lightning. It is the home. Central Florida is the home for the most lightning strikes in the U.S. All right, so this is their rain season, right? Heavy thunderstorms and things like that from mostly June-ish, July, August, and parts of September. All right, so that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps those who are thinking about moving to Florida as well. I will give you guys updates, but I will be dropping tons of videos of what we've done for the last 2 months. We are so happy to be in our new state, and we love it. Thank you guys for all the love and support, liking, sharing, and subscribing. I will see you guys on the next video. We are now Floridians. Thank you guys for watching. Here are some bloopers.
Oh, here come those cranes. Oh, they're coming right to me. You guys see that? Wow. There they go. They're pretty loud. Check that out. I'll have to turn it. All right. Okay. Let me get my camera right. Okay. Now that's what I'm talking about. Okay. The wildlife. Can't beat it.